Hey everybody, it's Sam from Wrestling Overtime, and we are going to have our NXT results. I am going to talk a little bit and add, some of my thoughts in. So it is not going to be under 10 minutes, I don't think. But we started off tonight, April 29th, 2020, NXT with Tom Phillips talking about how Beth Phoenix and Mauro Ronaldo are back and are on commentary. They open the show up talking about with kind of what we can expect and everything, and then we get the opening match, which is the interim cruiserweight championship title tournament that's going on, and I'm trying to think. I think this is the semifinals. I didn't write that part down, but I'm almost positive that it is the semifinals. We had Swerve Scott going against Phantasma. This, I don't know. I couldn't get into this match. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. I'm not a big fan of either one of these. And Swerve, he's a guy I want to like, but somehow don't. But I don't know why. And I think that irritates me that I don't know why. And I've tried to figure it out. I don't know whether... I don't think it's how he conducts himself. I don't know if it's how he wrestles. I don't know. For some reason, him winning tonight, he rolled Phantasma into a crucifix pin for the win. And I don't know whether I wasn't expecting that, or I didn't think that he would do that. I guess when I think of a crucifix pin, I think maybe of a smaller guy kind of getting one over on someone, I think. And I wasn't expecting that from him. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But there was something about this match I didn't really care who won. And that's not normally like me. I miss Jordan Devlin. I really do. I think from previous episodes you guys could tell that I like Jordan Devlin. He reminds me of a younger version of Finn Balor, that's why. But I have always enjoyed his wrestling and his cockiness and attitude and everything. And him being stuck overseas and not being able to travel over here, I think has just made me miss him even more. So then we got Dominic in my head, I can say his last name really well, but it is Dijakovic. I know I'm murdering it, but he came out and challenged Johnny Gargano for a match next week. And I don't know why, but that kind of threw me. I guess I expected the triangle to continue of Keith Lee and Damian Priest taking on Dominic. I just expected that to continue, but I know it's got to end sometime. And I know with Damian Priest taking on Keith Lee tonight in the main event that they were kind of cutting Dominic out, but for some reason I just did not expect him to choose Johnny Gargano. I don't know. I am interested in that match, but I think it threw me a little bit to know that, oh, that's who he's challenging. Then that led to Candice LeRae coming out, of course, with Johnny Gargano taking on Casey Catanzaro. And I know I'm messing her last name up too. But I was interested in this because I wanted to see the two of them together. Wanted to see what we were going to come up with, because Johnny Gargano had basically hinted in the match with Ciampa when he got into the car that since those two were done, according to Triple H, that this was going to be the start of him and Candice taking over, and that they were going to institute something new. So I was interested in seeing it. Well, was not expecting Johnny Gargano in his white jacket basically being a hype man for Candice LeRae, and that Candice LeRae's new nickname is Poison Pixie. And I was thinking, I don't know. But definitely was not expecting Johnny Wrestling to come out and basically be hyping her up. But LeRae took care of Casey, obviously, with her new finisher called the Wicked Stepsister. And she won that match pretty easily. And they go to walk up the ramp, and Candice LeRae turns around to go back to the ring, and I think she's going to get a mic. No. She uses the Gargano escape on Casey, and of course she's tapping, and LeRae is not letting go. And I thought, oh, they are going to be the evil heels that are looking to punish people, are looking to, assert their dominance and put people in their place. He's not gonna be lovable Johnny Wrestling anymore. And for some reason, I loved him as Johnny Wrestling. But for some reason, I hate the white jacket, but for some reason, I liked this side of them. And I'm interested in seeing, what they've got. What else are they going to bring? So then we get a Damian Priest promo about how he's going to finish what he started. And it, of course, shows a flashback to him hitting Keith Lee in the throat, and how he is going to just basically take his title. Then we have to get weird. I know a lot of people would think the Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano thing was weird. No, I like that. And I know a lot of you are going to like this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I hated this. I thought this was totally stupid. Drove me crazy. And the only thing I can think of when I saw this was, oh, yeah, WWE cannot put on a complete, from start to finish, great wrestling show anymore. They just can't. They have to put some stupidity in it, or make something not make sense, or give us something that we totally don't get. But like I said, hey, maybe you guys loved it. I don't know. We see Timothy Thatcher come out, and Matt Riddle is wearing both of the tag team title belts when he comes out. Now, my first thought was, number one, where did he get that other belt? Did Pete Dunne ship that to him? But then my thought was, what is he doing? What are they doing? But of course, Riddle comes out and says that he and Timothy Thatcher are going to prove that they know each other really well and that they are just as good of a tag team as him and Pete Dunne. Now, in my head, in my conscience, I'm having a battle because I'm thinking, you and Pete Dunne aren't that great of friends. What are you talking about that you know each other? Pete Dunne basically hated you and you hated him, and you guys were thrown together for the tag team tournament. That's how you guys became a tag team. Pete Dunne doesn't even really talk to you or do anything like you. So I immediately was confused just by Matt Riddle talking, which I usually am. But he decides that they're gonna have a show called The Newly Bros Show. And it's gonna be hosted by Byron Saxton, which we all know Byron got into. He wanted to be, the host with the most, and this became extremely stupid. Of him asking questions of Timothy Thatcher and then Matt Riddle writing down something crazy. Just totally stupid. So when Imperium came out, I'm telling you, I was on my living room couch and I was marking out bigger than life. Had I been there, I would have popped like you would not have believed. I just thought, please get rid of this. I wanted to thank them. I wanted to give them hugs. I would have bought them Cokes or beers had I been there and just said thank you for putting an end to this. I want to like Matt Riddle. I do. He is unbelievably athletic. The moves he can pull off, I don't like his character. However, he does it extremely well. I really respect him as a wrestler and his character. However, he is a character that I love to hate. He drives me crazy. I hate the stoner pot dudes. I hate them in real life, and I definitely hate them in wrestling. So to see Imperium come out and beat the crap out of him, I loved it. Can't help it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I know a bunch of you are gonna yell at me on Twitter, but I can't help it. Then we got to see Miriam versus Charlotte Flair, who is the NXT champion. You guys that got to hear me rant and rave about that, back at WrestleMania, I really wish Rhea Ripley would have kept the title. However, couldn't really figure out Charlotte Flair showing up and really almost choosing Miriam to be her title defense and everything, and couldn't figure it out. Well, then, when they introduced them and they got ready for the match and they said, oh, this is a non-title match. And they just kind of said that casually. I was like, oh, there's the catch. That's the catch. Because this isn't real. Charlotte really didn't put up her title against her. And so after I heard that, I was just kind of, whatever. I didn't, usually when you hear non-title bout with 50-50 booking, you can kind of watch it and hope that the challenger will win because there's a chance. But I knew that they weren't going to have Charlotte lose in her first title defense. So, of course, she got her into the figure eight and tap pretty quick. Io Shirai, of course, had to talk about how she was taking that from Charlotte, but I just don't think Io Shirai is big enough and has the fan support around her to do that. They've moved Bianca Belair basically up to Raw. And Shayna, even though she's still kind of listed as NXT, she's not. And then the rumors with Rhea Ripley wanting some time off and possibly having to go back and get her visa situated and see her family in Australia. I really don't see Charlotte Flair losing this anytime soon. I really don't. I don't think that she's going to pull the ratings that NXT needs to beat AEW on any Wednesday night. So I don't think she's going to do what Vince McMahon wants her to do. And I'm just hoping that somebody can get him convinced of that when Rhea Ripley comes back, because I think she needs to be the champion that everybody chases and they kind of restock the women's division of NXT with. Then we get told a little bit about next week. We're going to have the debut of Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. We're going to have Finn Balor come on and talk about the party that attacked him and why he didn't show up last week. We're going to have Johnny Gargano against Dominik Dijakovic. We're going to have, for the main event, the NXT champion Adam Cole take on Velveteen Dream. So with that lineup, if they can't beat AEW, I'd say by 100,000, 150,000 or more, they're not going to. Of course, I don't know what AEW's putting on next week, but I'm pretty sure, I think the finals for the TNT Championship title probably are next week. I don't know. Obviously I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not 100% sure what's next week for them. But, I mean, just hearing that lineup for next week, they should be able to give AEW a run for their money. So we'll see. Next we got Dexter Lumis versus Shane Thorne. And this is where it doesn't make any sense. I just watched Raw, a couple days ago. They have Shane Thorne on there with Brandon Vink, with MVP challenging Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. But yet tonight, he's taking on Dexter Lumis, and it's not even close. If you can't beat Dexter Lumis in NXT, how do you expect to get any offense or expect to pin someone like Ricochet? Are you crazy? Lumis obviously won with a submission against Thorne, and like I said, it wasn't even close. Then we got Tony Nese and Drake Maverick. This was a surprise. I enjoyed this. I have actually been waiting for Drake Maverick to look like this. This is the old Spud that we saw in TNA. I've been waiting for him to quit being a manager and quit peeing his pants and all that garbage. He actually won tonight. Maverick hit the wheelbarrow bulldog on Nace for the win. And that's who we all wanted to see. We want to cheer for Drake Maverick. We did not want him to be a heel. We did not want him, to run around and tell us about how awful his marriage is and how he can't get it consummated. I could care less. I want him in the underdog role. And then, of course, our main event tonight was Keith Lee versus Damian Priest for the NXT North American Championship. This match wasn't that great. I think it's because I can't get into Damian Priest. I keep thinking he's Punisher Martinez that he was in Ring of Honor, wasn't it? So I liked him hitting Keith Lee last week and blindsided him and all of that. I enjoyed him setting that match up for this week, but I couldn't get into this match. I didn't feel like he had a chance to win. I didn't buy anything that he was trying to sell. I just felt like this was a throwaway match. I felt like Keith Lee was going to win this one. There's no way they're taking the belt off of him. And I couldn't get into, Damian Priest winning this one. So it was kind of me looking at the clock, thinking, oh, how many more minutes do they have before I can see this one over? And they didn't surprise me. Keith Lee hit 2 spirit bombs for the win to close this out. And like I said, it wasn't something that I was worried about or anything like that. I am looking forward to next week. I don't expect Adam Cole to lose. I really don't. It'll shock me if he loses. But I do want a very good to great match. I love Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream. I really, really do. And so I hope I am not disappointed with that, because if I am, I'm gonna yell. But hopefully not. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, problems, protests, anything, write me at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com. Or, like I said before, hit me up on Twitter or Facebook on Wrestling Overtime. Let me know. I know that there's going to be a bunch of you out there that love Matt Riddle and are going to want to take up for him. Feel free. Let me have it. But I can't get into him. No matter what you guys say or do, I don't think that I'm going to get into Matt Riddle. I really don't. But anyway, you can try. Thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.